Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Mewtwo Fan Nate, and this is going to be my team builder for Season 2, Week number 2 of the P4G. We're going up against King Bub and the Munchlaxster United. King Bub is a very good friend of mine. I will leave his link in the description. I hope you guys go check him out. He's a great dude. One of the best people on the internet, I would say. Like, he's just one of my really good friends. I'm really happy to be acquainted with him. So, without further ado, just to throw the mons that I have drafted this season on your screen. There you guys go. You can see them right there. We have the Crobat, Raikou, Typhlosion, Hydreigon, Mesprit, Blastoise, Mega Scizor, Tapu Bulu, Hariyama, Piloswine, and Licky Licky. So there you go. My opponent, he has picked Mega Medicham, Togekiss, Shaman, Zygarde 10%, Registeel, Gengar, Electros, Slowking, Avalugg, Seismitoad, and Tyranitar. So those are both of the mons that we have drafted. Now to get a little bit of a more in detail look on what I think of my team versus his team. So basically the point of my team is really just to make my Mega Scizor win. He doesn't have a fire type. He does have things that get fire coverage though, like Mega Medicham with like Fire Punch. You have Togekiss with like Flamethrower, and then he has like Electros with Flamethrower that he could possibly bring. And it does resist the Bullet Punch, so I mean that might be a nice little niche bring. And then he has other things that can rock, like Hidden Power Fire pretty well, like Shaman I think would definitely bring. I think even his Registeel would bring it. Like if I had to predict like the maybe I would say 2 or 3 mons that he would bring the Hidden Power Fire on, it'd be either the Registeel, Shaman, or the Gengar. I think those 3, at least 1 or 2 of those in any combination sort of those form will have Hidden Power Fire for my team. So I definitely want to make sure that I'm scouting for it, like by either switching into Hariyama or Typhlosion, you know. But we gotta be very careful with how we play with that. Now, Crobat is a great mon against his team. Like it kind of puts on a lot of pressure on like the first 3 mons that he has, like Mega Medicham, Togekiss, and Shaman, because Crobat, if it did have the poison coverage, it would be very scary to the Togekiss. With the flying coverage, hitting the Mega Medicham and the Shaman for super effective damage, pretty much destroying them in like 1 hit, because it is super effective, and it's coming off from like a very high base power move. I'm not saying that Shaman isn't bulky, because it is, but it's just, Crobat, it's going to hit very hard, and it's not going to want to take a Brave Bird from it. Mesprit is my only check to his Mega Medicham, meaning I don't have a switch into it otherwise. So I have to be very careful with the way I play Mesprit. For example, Mesprit this week, I'm actually going to click on Mesprit right now. Mesprit right now has a very specific job, and that's to check Mega Medicham and to Healing Wish. So Healing Wish is because I know one of my mons is going to get weakened. It's going to happen. I hope I can play this correctly, but let's say I have like my Typhlosion or my Crobat or like my Hariyama I don't know, that have taken some damage. I need them at full health. Maybe they've taken a lot of Stealth Rocks damage, that maybe they come in more than once on Stealth Rocks. They're weakened. I can click Healing Wish and, heal something, maybe something that's been T-Waved, whatever, you guys know how Healing Wish works. So basically, it's pretty much to Thunder Wave things, and Healing Wish. Rocks aren't the main priority, as it doesn't really hurt his team too much, like, Registeel, Tyranitar, like, there's not, like Seismitoad, like, Slowking gets Regenerator, there's not really too much that Stealth Rocks will be important for it. They're nice for like the little bit of chip damage, like let's say Gengar has like a Focus Sash, but I think I'm predicting the Z move. That's why it's kind of stupid, but I don't, because trying to calc for specific Z moves, like I'm pretty sure his Gengar is gonna have like the Poisonium Z or whatever it is, like Sludge Wave or something like that, or maybe the Ghostium Z, Shadow Ball, one of those ones. And I've EV'd like my Hariyama to take that like a boss. Like it doesn't even do 50% to me. So as long as I'm above 50%, and he can't click the the sludge wave Z move and just knock me out one hit. So that's good for my Hariyama. It's my only real like specially defensive mon for this game, so it needs to take those hits from Gengar, and it's gonna have to put some pressure on that Registeel. So I hope it does a decent job at that. Things to point about his team, like versus my team, like Electros could be kind of scary. If he brings it and he plays it right. Like if he's like gonna be bringing, like I think he gets like Acid Spray, which will like if he goes for that, it like drops my special defense like by 2, and then all of a sudden it just becomes like super scary. And it has like coverage like with like Flamethrower. It has like the electric coverage with that could really stop my Crobat. So it's got some things that it could do. It also gets Giga Drain for the Pilot Wine if he wants to bring that potentially. It gets like knockoff, so if he's like doesn't want to make a prediction and he wants to like knock off my Choice Scarf on my Typhlosion, something like that, my Assault Vest on my Hariyama, which would be my dedicated switch into the Electros if he does bring it. I don't know. If he does bring it, I have like that's gonna be the one thing on my team that will switch into it, at least the best, I would say. Now, Zygarde 10% could be an issue, potentially. Like, it does get Sludge Wave for Tapu Bulu, and he only has to invest like 64 in special attack with like a Naive Nature or something like that to be able to get the OHKO on this spread of my Bulu. And then it also has like 1,000 arrows, so that easily hits the Crobat. It hits like the Typhlosion. It does like massive damage to like Scizor if it's not Mega Evolved, and if it's like Life Orb or Banded. Hoping that he doesn't bring either of those, because that could potentially be pretty scary. Hopefully he doesn't play too well with it, because if he kind of just sacks it off like in a certain way, it would make my life a lot easier, because that's like the fastest thing on his team. And if it comes to late game and his mons outspeed me, then I'm going to be very, very scared. So now Tyranitar, if he does decide to bring it, which I'm not sure, it's like there's a really good chance that he brings it, but also a very bad chance that he brings it. It's like a 50-50, because Crobat, if he gets up a couple Dragon Dances or something's paralyzed, it could potentially put in a lot of work. Like, it gets like a lot of good coverage for my team. Like, it kind of stops Crobat. With the setting up Stealth Rocks, that kind of weakens it. It hits it with Stone Edge. It gets like coverage with like Ice Beam, like Fire Punch, Flamethrower, things like that. That could also hurt. It has coverage for like Typhlosion. And the main point, like the point that I'm trying to make about his Tyranitar, is it stops Mesprit from doing what it needs to do, because it can Pursuit Trap, it can Crunch, it does a lot of damage to the Mesprit, and I don't have the Culver Berry this week, so it has to I have to try to play around it if he does bring it. Now, the reason why I'm saying he might not bring it is because I have a Tapu Bulu, I have a Hariyama, I have a Mega Scizor, I have the Typhlosion that does get Focus Blast. I have other things on my team that can get fighting coverage, like with Hydreigon with like Superpower. We have like Blastoise with like Aura Sphere. We have Raikou with Aura Sphere. So there's like something like that. Like there's like many reasons why he just wouldn't bring it, because, and it's pretty obvious because like I have a lot of coverage to hit it with. So it's up in the air. If I had to predict his team, I would say like Mega Medicham, Togekiss, Shaman, Registeel, Gengar definitely coming, and then if he had to like switch up any of them, I would say like Electros is a maybe, Zygarde 10% is a maybe, and then Tyranitar is a maybe. Like, but those 5 I'm like almost positive are coming. Like, I just don't see why they wouldn't come against me. Like, they have, like, if I was prepping for me, that's what I would bring, and I would bring like the Hidden Power Fire on those mons. So I think it's I don't know, I don't want to say it's obvious, like an obvious prep, but I'm saying that's what I would do if I was him. So I don't know how he preps. I don't know who he's prepping with, but That's what I would do. Now, to get onto the team, because I did ramble on for like a good 10 minutes, so we're going to try to, you know, knock this out. So this right here is going to be my dedicated lead, my wingman, my Crobat, U-turn, Brave Bird, Natural Gift, and Taunt. So depending on what he leads with, this is a pretty decent lead. As long as he's not like Scarfed Zygarde 10%, then this will work out perfect, because if he leads Zygarde 10%, and I will pretty much just crap myself, because I will have to guess if he's going to go for like if he's going to go for like a Dragon Dance, try to set up on me like turn 1, it would be terrifying. So I would have to click U-turn on that. If he brings the Registeel, which I'm hoping he leads with, if he leads with Registeel, I can taunt it, then U-turn. So that means no rocks, no Thunder Wave. I'm looking good. If he brings the Tyranitar and he leads with it, then I can just click Natural Gift, Salac Berry. It's like base 100 power, and as long as he's not like max HP, max defense, if he's more offensive, which I think if he was to bring Tyranitar, it would be more offensive than bulky, because he'd probably want to just bring enough speed to outspeed like a non-invested Bulu, like a max HP, max attack Bulu. So I would think that he would probably be running that. So I think Natural Gift does knock out that kind of spread. And then Brave Bird is pretty obvious, like just it tears through Mega Medicham, it tears through Shaman, and then basically anything like that's not those, it hits pretty hard for like Gengar, takes good damage, Zygarde 10% takes good damage from that. Togekiss does not want to take a poison, like the cross poison thingy or whatever potentially, so he's not going to want to stay in and find out, so I can U-turn on that. And the next mon that I have is my Taboo Bulu, my Bulu Bow, and this thing is pretty cool. It's Sub-Swords Dance, Horn Leech, and Superpower. It has enough speed to outspeed a Jolly Max Speed Tyranitar. It's got 12 in HP, just to make sure that we're at an odd number of HP, and then we put the 4 in the defense and special defense, just to, you know, give those some love and not waste any EVs. So substitute, I can do that on like a predicted switch or potential like Stealth Rocks or something like that, or even a Thunder Wave if I'm going against the Registeel. And that's cool, because then I do have the option to go for a Swords Dance, get up to +2, and then like go for like Horn Leeches and Superpower. Fun fact, like if I'm like behind a substitute and I'm at like +2, Togekiss is not the check to me, you know, it's not really beating me, because behind a sub at +2, Horn Leech is doing over 50%. And that's beautiful. Now, the +2 Superpower is a guaranteed OHKO on the Registeel, and that's why I have it. Superpower in general does like 90-something% to a Registeel if it's like defensive, so it's even if I don't get up to +2, it will weaken it to the point where I can have something else come in and like beat it, whether that be like Hariyama, or if it's like if it's the Typhlosion, or if it's just like the Natural Gift Crobat. So I mean, we have a lot of options here. Blue is something that I can sack off depending on what he brings. If he has like Slowking or something like that, or like Electros, I might want to keep it around, because Electros I can outspeed and hit it really hard with the Horn Leech. It does not want to take one of those. The Slowking, it does not want to take the Horn Leech. I'll get all my health back and beat it. But if he has something like, you know, along the lines of like faster mons, like Shaman, which can run like Air Slash, Mega Medicham, which will outspeed me, Togekiss, which can outspeed me, can speed creep me and beat me that way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said Gengar already. Like, I'm not going to want to keep this thing around because it's not doing much for the team. I could sack it off and get a free switch into something else. I'd much rather do that. I'd feel a lot safer. Now we have my Salucci. Shout out to my my dude, who this is nicknamed after. So this has Eruption, Fire Blast, Focus Blast, and Hidden Power Grass. This thing is really just going to be clicking like Eruption or Fire Blast, depending on whether or not he gets up like rocks or not. Like if he gets up rocks and I'm like at 75%, I'll probably click Fire Blast, because I'm scared to, like, you know, get weaker. Like if I take a hit, then I don't want to be scarfed into Eruption to where the fact that like my base power can be lowered. I'd rather just have consistent fire blasts, you know, pray for those high rolls, you know. So I'm running like max speed, max special attack, and with a choice scarf, just because of the fact that he does have the Medicham, which is base 100, and then he has the Shaman, which is also base 100. Neither of those none of those appreciate the Fire Blast. None of those appreciate the Fire Blast. So I'm pretty confident in this set, thinking that I think it'll do some work. The Togekiss is like the one main switch into this thing because it's pretty bulky. I mean, Seismitoad, I mean, does not want to take the Hidden Power Grass. Zygarde, if it's like bulkier, it can switch into this thing and then like scare me out with like 1,000 arrows. But other than that, like there's nothing on his team that really likes this combination and set of moves. So I think I feel pretty confident in this thing. I guess the one way of me beating the Togekiss with this set is if I like crit it or something like that. But you know, pray if that doesn't happen. You know, so because we did hex him out in the last one. It was a bit of a low roll on my Drapion with his Tapu Bulu, which it had like a 10% chance of not killing me, and I got that 10% chance. So I think he definitely should have won that last game that we played. But anyway, this Mesprit, like I said before, it's our check to the Mega Medicham. I don't want it taking too many hits because it needs to switch in, and it can only switch in on like 2 high jump kicks. It does not take 3. It just doesn't. Mega Medicham is way too scary. Hopefully when I do switch it in, he goes for like a Zen Headbutt or something like that, just fearing for life, missing a high jump kick, or maybe he just has like Drain Punch or something, because it would be very terrifying, and it would ruin my day if he got like a crit high jump kick and did like massive damage to this thing on the switch in. And I have Shadow Ball for coverage because that's like the one thing that I want to use to hit the Mega Medicham for super effective damage. Now we have this guy right here. And this is basically, I don't want to call it my win con because I won't know until like the game starts, but I want Mega Scizor to win. I want him to get like multiple kills this game. And potentially it could, if I can set up one Swords Dance, I can pretty much sweep if his Registeel's gone. And if he has like a Zygarde 10% like weakened, like I can pretty much, like I would 4-0 him or 5-0 him or something like that. Like I can get a nice sweep going with this thing. Like so Swords Dance, Roots, Bullet Punch, and Knock Off. And the EVs on this thing, pretty much like all I needed was like the 156 and an Adamant Nature to get the knockout on the Togekiss. If it was like max HP, max defense. Not saying that that's the switch, you know, the switch in, but if it has like the Babir Berry, I would have to be at +4 to get the knockout after Rocks if he's like max HP, max defense, bold. So I don't know how he's gonna run his Togekiss. I'd be very fearful for this match, just because Togekiss, like it puts on a lot of pressure, I would say, on my team, like with like Flamethrower, Fire Blast, and then like Thunder Waves. Thunder Waves gonna be an issue. It's like he either runs like T-Wave, like really bulky, or he brings like Choice Scarf. Like I don't think there's like an in between there, or Babiri Berry. So it's hard to say. Babiri Berry would be very terrifying, but hopefully I can go for like knockoff with like Hariyama on it, or like the Scizor, something like that, and knock off its item so I know what it is. If I see leftovers, then that's great because that means Scizor can just sweep. All I need was one Swords Dance and that's it. Like Mega Medicham, I'm pretty sure Mega Medicham, if it's weakened, like it does not have the best stats. Like if it's like I believe all I need is one Swords Dance and I knock it out. Mega, like, all right, if I go to my set like right here, I'll put it in right now. Just to tell you guys. Yeah, it does 100% minimum at +2. So that's what that was for. I forgot what it was for. It's for the meta. This investment is actually specifically for the Medicham. At +2, it's 100% minimum to that thing. So that's what that's for. And then the knockoff, just to get rid of items, potentially the Bear Berry, like I was saying before. And it's good for if something switches in and it takes no damage, like for example, like that Shaman. or even if a Gengar wants to try to like do like a curse body thingy on me, and I don't knock off an item, then I'll know that it's like the Z Crystal, something like that. Now, I'm like, that's another thing that I'm conflicted on his team. Like, I don't know what Z Crystal thing he's gonna use. If I were him, I would probably be running it on the Gengar, maybe the Shaman. I don't know what I would run it on the Shaman, but like if I was him, I'd probably run like Dazzling Gleam and Power Fire. Like Seed Flare or Giga Drain, I don't know. I'd have to do calcs to see which one's more beneficial. But, you know, Seed Flare, and then, like, I don't know, like, maybe heal, like, what is that? Aromatherapy for, like, Cleric status, yeah, it's Aromatherapy, or Synthesis, something along those lines. But, I mean, we won't know until the game actually happens, and that's pretty much like what I'm expecting from that thing. Now we do have the Hariyama, which is very, very bulky, especially defensive. It's basically its main purpose is to take hits from this Gengar, or else it will destroy my life, because Gengar is another one of those mons that can just absolutely obliterate my Mesprit, and I think if he's using the Gengar like with like the Ghostium Z to like destroy my Mesprit, then this is what's gonna, you know, be able to take care of it, because knockoff, it's a Oko after rocks. If I don't get rocks up on his side of the field, it does like 93% or something like that. So it still hits very hard. It has the careful nature, you know, 124 in HP, so I have a lot of investment there. 132 in attack, I think, was just the leftover. I really just want to, instead of making this thing more offensive, it's more so to take hits on the special side. It's more my special, you know, especially defensive mon. And the only way that this thing is going to get, you know, some heals, some health, is through Mesprit. So I can Healing Wish into it if necessary. Don't know if I want to do that. Depends on what I see. Like I said, Crobat might be my win con this game, depending on, you know, the late game aspect of it. So if it's like late game, then I might want to just Healing Wish into it, and just so I can go for like just spam Brave Bird at the end. But we'll see. That's gonna be the team for this week, guys. If you guys did make it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the battle. Bye.